Hey everybody, Chris Eggleston here with GravityRanger.com, and today I wanted to take a look at what's coming in Gravity Forms 2.9. The beta version was just released, I think it was earlier this week, a couple days ago, Monday, maybe Tuesday, August, whatever that was, the 20th or 19th, something like that. So it's out. Wanted to take a look at it. This is a first look with you. So let's go ahead and just jump in. I've got the 2.9 doc pulled up here, which is just showing the key features of what's coming. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. A couple new fields, a multi-choice field, an image choice field, editor improvements. Let's see, they've taken the orbital theme into the editor. Got some accessibility improvements. They're improving the choice flyout. And then they removed select default choice in choice base field. All right, so let's go ahead and look at these. I'm going to start with these improvements, and then we'll jump into these new fields. So let's take a look at the orbital theme. So what are we doing? Just real quick here, it looks like they're just using the orbital theme to style the editor, so it appears more like in the editor what it is when you embed the form on your site. Okay, that's cool. Little better visual representation of what you're going to see. Let's see, accessibility stuff, faster form loading, overall site performance, improved user experience and higher conversion rates. Okay, so the choice flyout thing, this is, let's see, has been enhanced for better usability. This includes a new choice fields as well as the radio button and checkbox field. So looks like they've added a new button, clear default choices, to make it easier to change these choices. So we'll take a look at that when we look at these fields. Let's see, they removed the selected default choice in a choice-based field. So previously, once a default choice was made in a choice-based field, oh, okay, couldn't be cleared. So basically, in a radio button field like this, if you click on this check mark here, it will make that the default choice, make it pre-selected anytime the form loads. And you could not undo that without manipulating the form via the browser dev tools. So it made it very difficult. So basically what you'd have to do if you didn't know how to use the browser dev tools to remove that mark, you would have to basically delete this choice and re-add it, which causes all kinds of problems if you've already collected data via that field. So that's cool. We'll take a look at that as well when we jump into the editor. Okay, so let's go ahead and just look at the multiple choice field and the image choice field. Okay, so this is cool. I don't want to read that. Let's just jump into an editor here and take a look. So I just created this form just a minute ago. So let's go ahead and jump into the editor. It should be blank. Okay, perfect. So here's our new editor. And if we look at this a little bit, kind of looks the same. Let me go deactivate one of these plugins real quick because it manipulates the editor a bit. And that would be Gravity Hopper. Where's that at? Right here. So let's go ahead and deactivate Gravity Hopper. And refresh that. There we go. So now we don't have any interference from any third-party plugins changing the editor. So let's see what this looks like. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with single line. Let's just add a single line text. Okay. So here we go. This does look much different as far as the style it goes. So it does look more defined, less blocky, and so it does appear like you would expect when it's embedded. So let's just go ahead and see what that looks like. Okay, so my theme is doing some funky thing by coloring these styles, or these fields, but we'll ignore that for now. All right, so go ahead and take a look at this too. I'm going to delete this field, and I want you to see what happens. All right, so here we get this massive pop-up box warning, which is more consistent with other messages that the editor has implemented since I want to say 2.6, maybe 2.7, maybe 2.5 even. I don't know. But so this one, deleting this field will also delete all entry data associated with it. Cancel it to abort. Okay to delete. Okay. So what did this look like before? It was just a standard little browser pop-up that popped up here at the top of your screen, which I guarantee you 90% of people never read. They just figured it was some obnoxious warning. This right here puts it right in your face, which I think is great because this is an important warning. A lot of people don't realize that when they delete a field, they're also deleting all the data, all the entry data that was collected with that field. Okay, so that was cool. So there we go. That's deleted. So let's go ahead and take a look at these new fields. And they're right here. They're in the standard field section. We've got multi-choice and image choice. All right, so one thing I want to see is real quick back over here in the dock, the multi-choice. So this choice combines the functionality of a checkbox and radio button field types into one enhanced field with improved layout, compatibility, and controls. Okay, so this one I thought was an interesting add, primarily because, again, it's taking two fields, a checkbox field and a radio button field, and putting them into a single field. So I thought that was an interesting concept. It has a select all. Let's see. Note that the older field types are still available. We'll keep for the background compatibility. Okay. So basically the original fields, checkbox and radio button fields, are still going to be there for backwards compatibility. Everything's benefiting from the new choice layout. So it seems like this multiple choice field is kind of the new option moving forward. They're keeping the original ones just for backwards compatibility. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the multi-choice field, I'm going to add it here. Well, maybe not. Interesting. That might be, again, this is beta, so that might be a bug. Let me go ahead and save this form and refresh it, see if I get rid of this box. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at what we got here. Under the general settings, we've got our flyout. Okay, so cool. Looks about the same. Again, here's this new button. Let's go ahead and see what it does. Clear default choices. Oh, that's for this right here. So if we make this our default choice and I try to unchange it, I can't. But if I do this, it clears it. Okay, that's cool. I don't know about the positioning of this. Seems like they could just make a little button, like a checkbox with maybe the value next to it would look better. But I don't know, maybe that's temporary. So that's cool. Again, we talked about this real briefly. There was no way to undo this unless you knew how to manipulate the browser rules, or you deleted the choice and added a new one. But again, that creates an issue with deleting data. And if you got a long form with multiple choice, or conditional logic options that use that field choice, then there you go. You got another issue. You have to go through and fix all your logic. Okay, so that was cool. So now here is another new setting. Here, so selections. So what type of field is this? Is it a select? Is it a multiple select? Is it a select exact number? Is it a select range? Okay, so. Or select one is actually one of the, okay, so that's a little confusing at first look. I'm expecting this to be a placeholder and telling me to select one of these. So let's look at that again. So select one is this choice, is this field type, a radio button, right? Radio buttons, you can only select one. A select a multiple would turn this into a checkbox field over here, where you can select multiple choices. Select exact number. This is cool. Pre this feature, the only way to do this was with code or with the Gravity Wiz add-on, where you can set the number of check marks that they or choices they have to check. So if we do 2, you'll notice over here it adds this text here. Select exactly 2 choices. Okay, so that's cool. Now if we do a select a range, so you need to select between 1 and 3. And again, it adds that text over here as well. So that is also cool. So basically with this, you would have to select 1 to 3. So a minimum of 1, a maximum of 3. That's cool. So that's pretty sweet. So basically combining those two field types and giving you a couple other functionality. I really like the exact number. It would also be cool if they added another option that was to give each of these a setting, how many times they could be selected. Right, so you know if these are seats for an event, right? And I've got you know a standard seat, I've got VIP, and then I've got VIP plus. So maybe I've got 1,000 standard seats, but I only have 100 VIP seats, and I only have 10 VIP plus seats. So it'd be cool to be able to select a quantity for each of these. So that would be cool to see that as another selection. Maybe that'll come. So they've also have the option to enable the select all. Okay. If you do select one, you have the option still to enable the other field, or the other choice, I should say, just like the radio button field does. So that's the same there. But again, that's only available if you're using the radio button style, the select one choice. But all the others have the option to enable select all, which I'm interested to see. Let's test this real quick. So if the maximum I can do is 3, but I have 3. Let's add another one. We'll call this. Okay, so I have 4. So I have 4 choices with the maximum of 3, but I have select all. Let's take a look. So if I hit select all, it selects all. I would expect that, yeah, see? And if I try to submit it, I get a validation error. Why? Because I can only select 3 choices. So it doesn't make sense to have a select all option for that type. Okay? Interesting. All right, so that's multiple choice field. Again, combining what is the radio button field and the checkbox field with a couple added features to do the to set a what am I trying to say? To set a range or a exact number of selections. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and delete these. And let's take a look at the image choice field. Now, this is much similar to JetSloth's add-on image choices. I guarantee you the JetSloth add-on is probably going to give you a lot more creativity, a lot more style. Although I do believe that this has improved based on the original scope of what this field is going to be. I believe they weren't going to add any type of styles. They weren't going to give you the option to remove these radio buttons. And it was just going to be a very standard field. But it looks like, I also think this was originally scheduled for 2.8 release, but they pushed it to 2.9, which gave them more time to add more of these things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the settings here. I'm going to just browse the appearance. I don't see anything changing here. Advanced, nothing new here. Okay, so interesting that the conditional logic field is active, or the conditional logic setting is active when this is the only field type. Remember, this is beta. Okay, there we go. It was just because I hadn't saved the form since deleting those other fields. Okay. All right, so let's see. General. So everything must be in general. Okay, here it is. So let's take a look at the flyout. All right, so this looks pretty much like JetSlaw's solution for adding your image. So you would click here to add the image for this one. Let's just find a decent image here. That's probably going to be too big. Let's see. What's this? Here, let's just use this one. Okay, so we'll select that. There we go. There's my first image. Let's do another image. There we go. We'll do that one. Okay. Here, I'll change this so that they can be the same, just to add a little consistency here. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Oops, I don't want. And then we'll just grab this right here. These should all be the same size. All right, I'm gonna close this so we can see. Okay, cool. So there's my images. So I can change this. And it should change here. Okay, good. Cool. And then this one is handy. Okay. So let's close this and take a look. Okay, so there's that. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much all I can do here. I can show my values still. So if I wanted interesting, that's interesting. Let me save this and see what happens. Okay, that's interesting. Looks like things aren't taking until you save. I wonder if that's an issue. I haven't looked at the limitations, the known issues, but I suspect that these things will all come out. All right, so let's see. Okay, so here we have another selections. So in this case, right now, this field is a select one, so it has all the same choices as the multi-choice field. So we can select one, which is a radio button style field. We can do select multiple, which becomes a checkbox style. We can do a select exact number, same thing. So I can say you have to select 2, and then arrange. So all the same options here. There is no select all for this field, and there is no other choice. Oh yeah, there is another choice. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Interesting. Interesting. How do you add an image for the other choice when the other choice is not really a choice? Huh. Interesting. Okay. So another thing to get worked out. Let's actually save that and see what it looks like. Maybe it just looks like that in the end. Nope. Nope. Okay, this is kind of cool. Now, so we still have these. Let's see if we can make these go away. But you can see it adds this little checkbox here, or this check mark here, so you know which one's being selected, which gives me the impression that you should be able to hide the field labels or the choice labels. So let's look in appearance again. Choice label visibility, hidden. There we go. Gone. I'm going to go undo this other choice because it's just not great. Let's go back to appearance. Okay, so visibility, top aligned, choice label is hidden. Of course, we get this accessibility warning. And that looks like all we've got. I suspect. Okay, so I'm guessing that's all we got for now, as far as image choices go. So let's preview this again. So it looks a little bit better without the label there, but you're limited again on styles. Like I was mentioning, I was thinking there was going to be more style options, but it doesn't look like there are. So unless I'm missing something here, but I don't think so. And by style options, I mean being able to say I want it to be round, a round image instead of square, and then like placement of things. Maybe that's in the block editor. Let's go see. Let's go add this to a page real quick. 2.9 test. Okay, here we go. So orbital theme. Oh yeah, it is no card. So no card removes the border essentially and the shadow, all that around it, and then we can switch it to circle and then remove the card. And if we save that and then take a look at this page, here we go. So interesting. Don't know how I like that being in the block editor instead of a choice within the field itself, because that's going to limit how many people can actually use this. You can also adjust the size, so that's cool. And will probably lead to people continuing to use JetSloth, which is totally cool. And Gravity Forms isn't a problem if you want to use a third-party add-on instead of the default or the core features. And I guess this also makes it beneficial for JetSloth's add-on. Still makes it relevant because again, their add-on, the field, you can make the changes within the editor instead of having to do it here in the block editor that a lot of people don't use. So anyway, that's interesting. But I think that's it. Let's take a look at this doc one more time. The known issues, fields, chain selects. Okay, nothing crazy there. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, all disadvantages aside or lack of whatever, you may think these are great additions, great new features to Gravity Forms. Like I said, I do think that we're going to see more from these fields. Like we may get more enhanced design options, again in the block editor, not the form editor. Multiple choice, again, hopefully we get some other select options, like enabling a quantity per choice type of thing that we talked about. But overall, this is great. I think these are going to be great additions to Gravity Forms core. And then the other things we talked about, bringing the orbital theme into the editor, that's cool. I think people will appreciate that because especially people who are new to the form builder, they're expecting it to look in the editor like it does when they embed it in the page. So being able to see some consistency there, I think will help new users be more confident about what they're building. So that is cool. I'm just adding some fields here so we can see the consistency. So let's live preview that. Again, I'm sorry, my stupid theme is adding this color to the fields. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty consistent. Spacing's off a little bit. There's less space here than there is in the editor, but that's just probably because we're dealing with blocks that have other elements as opposed to when it's embedded in the page. So, but that's cool. Looks pretty consistent. Again, the style looks the same, so that's helpful. Let's see. The flyout. So the option to clear the default choice is great. That I'm sure is a pain point for a lot of people, which is right there. So that's it for 2.9. It's in beta. Go download it from your account. If you have an active license, you can get it. And do not install this on a production site while it's in beta. Only install it in a test environment. Save yourself some hassle and some issues by doing that. But go get it, play with it, see what you think about it. Maybe I'll do a video comparing the core image choice field with JetSloss, just to kind of give you an idea of the differences and the benefits of either or. But anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I know I ran a little bit long on this and was kind of just rambling, but again, this is my first look at 2.9, and I just wanted to do it here live with you, just so you can get honest look, honest feedback. I didn't edit this to remove any issues I ran into or anything I found as I went through it. Just want you to see it. Again, it's beta, so there are going to be some issues, some things here or there that you won't get once 2.9 is released for version 1 of 2.9. So the official 2.9 is released. So again, the more people that go download this and use it, the more feedback you can provide to the Gravity Forms product team, the better, because then they can improve it, fix it before it is rolled out as an official version. So again, any questions, feedbacks, thoughts, I'd love to see them in the comments, either if you're watching this at gravityranger.com or on YouTube, and I will be sure to watch and respond when necessary or when requested. All right, so thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video, and go check out gravityranger.com for the latest tutorials.